Morning, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, back down here at the Pathfinder Outdoor Classroom. What I have in front of me here basically is the ammo can toolbox contents. So first of all, let me be completely transparent. So what I found out during this experiment was, number one, I was never going to be able to find all the tools that I wanted by shopping flea markets and yard sales and things like that. At least not anytime soon. And people have been bugging me. When's the next tool video coming out? When's the next tool video coming out? And then I also took suggestions on there of tools to add to the box. And while a lot of them were phenomenal suggestions, a lot of them apply different ways. And I think that's kind of the discussion I wanted to have before we talk about this toolkit that I've assembled. And these are new tools, okay? I've bought new tools for this toolbox. Part of the reason for that is I get tired of searching for tools out here because my nephew is not real good at keeping track of them. Typical young Gen X, not very capable of keeping track of things, all right? Enough said with that. I'm sure you've got kids, I'm sure you've got grandkids, so you understand. So in going through this toolbox, what we need to first discuss is, again, going back to kind of the same mentality I've been talking about in recent videos of kit building mentality. What we need to think about is, what is this kit being based upon? Because I think you're gonna have to have more than one. You're gonna have to have a toolbox for this, a toolbox for that, a toolbox for this, because if it's dedicated to carpentry type tasks, then you're gonna have a completely different set of tools than someone who is concentrating on small engine repair, let's say, or someone who's concentrating on general homestead maintenance. All of those things are gonna require kind of different types of tools, and you're not going to get all of them in one small ammo can. You're just not going to. I struggle to get all of this in an ammo can, and I almost have to take big things like the hammer and put it aside, right? Because the rest of these tools take up the majority of that box. And I was trying to stay with that small ammo can style box. So when I looked at what I was trying to accomplish here, and again, tools that I'd be able to readily get to when I need them, what I do down here at the school, and this is really what this toolbox is based on, is I have to maintain four-wheelers, I have to maintain side-by-sides, I have to maintain chainsaws, weed eaters, mowers, the tractor. I have to maintain camp stoves, whether they be propane or white gas. So those type things, more than anything else down here, require me to grab a tool for this or that. And so what I've done is I've assembled a toolkit based on those tasks. And again, I would love to have your suggestions if you think I'm missing something. I'm sure that I'm missing some spare parts and things like that. But again, the more you have, the more room is going to be taken up in this toolbox. So I've tried to get away with some multifunctional things so I don't have to have as much. But you can take a look at what I've got and you can tell me. So let's get started here, all right? What we're going to do is we're going to open the box. We're going to put stuff in the box as we go and see how quick we fill up the box. All right, so we've got our ammo can here. I'm going to set the things aside to open this ammo can. And I've painted it red on the top and I put tools on it. I've got a magnet attached to the head of this thing that I can use a piece of cordage to drop it down somewhere if I lose a nut or a bolt. And I've also got a magnet here that is extendable for retrieving those things, okay? And I just stick it to the side of the box when I get to the top, all right? So let's first start talking about, I guess, liquids and expendable things, all right? I've got a small can of WD-40. I have a tube of liquid gasket. I have a small thing of 3-in-1 oil. I'll kind of put those right here, all right? I have a roll of electrical tape. I have a roll of pipe tape. And I have a roll of 100 mile an hour or Gorilla tape, 1-inch roll, okay? I also have tire plug kit with lubricant. Drop that in the bottom real quick. That pretty much takes care of most of the expendable stuff, okay? Now, a little at a time here, I'm going to set this kind of out of the way. So let's kind of look at this from an aspect of the different things that we have to deal with, right? All right, so electrical problems. We have wire strippers here. Obviously, we had tape and things like that. We've got a small voltmeter here. I have a utility knife here with spare blades. All right, so moving on from that, let's talk about chainsaw maintenance, right? I have a set of chainsaw files for a chainsaw blade. And I also have a chainsaw tool. Moving on from that to small engine type stuff, weed eaters, mowers, four-wheelers, things like that, okay? The rest of these tools kind of fall into that category. So I've got a set of chisels here and punches. I'm gonna kind of get this voltmeter up on the top of things here so it doesn't get damaged in the end. I have battery terminal cleaner with the brush, right? Always a good thing to have in any kit, especially for a vehicle. Spark plug feeler gauge, a set of Allen wrenches, a wire brush, we'll set it aside for a moment, and a 4-way file. The rest of these things are more like tools, okay? That can be multifunctionally used for different things. So we've got 2 sets of vice grips, a needle nose and a regular pair. We have 2 different size pairs of channel locks here. We have a set of ring pliers here with 3 adapters for the ring pliers for the front. We have a screwdriver, 8-in-1 or whatever you want to call it, with a whole thing of bits here, all different size bits, things like that for the screwdriver. I have a stubby one of these same screwdrivers as well. It's in a smaller kit. I may transfer one to this kit as well. I have a pair of lineman pliers, a pair of side cuts, and a pair of needle nose. I have an adjustable wrench here that also has a socket plug in the bottom of it so you can plug sockets into it and it becomes a socket wrench, okay? Very multifunctional piece of kit. And I also have a socket handle with that so that I can use a straight handle, put a cheater bar on here if I need to. But this is my socket set handles and my adjustable wrench. We'll get to that in a minute. I have a set of wrenches here, box end wrenches and open end wrenches. That's a full set. These are all SAE, all right? They're not metric. But I have a full set of sockets here with SAE and metric that will work with either one of those handles, okay? And they're just loose. They probably could be put in some kind of a container. Would probably be better. The wire brush, the magnet, the multimeter can go on the top of everything so it doesn't get damaged very easily. Just like this. And I have a couple markers in here. All right. That's pretty much the box minus the hammer. Okay. And you can see that's pretty full. With just that amount of tools, you've got that box filled up. There's definitely no room in there for any kind of a hammer. So if you're going to have some kind of a sledgehammer or a cross peen, it's definitely going to be kept on top or separate. All right, guys. So again, my intention with this series was to makeshift a toolbox out of things that we could scrounge or find. However, you're going to have a hard time finding everything you need or everything you want, even doing that over the course of maybe even a year, because I've been for a couple months trying to find different tools, things like that. And I'm either not finding the quality, not finding the price, or I could buy them new for that price, or I'm just not finding what I need to begin with. So I assembled this toolbox from New Tools just to give you an idea of what I would put in it. Now I have a toolbox that I can keep down here. I don't have to search for tools when I need them up at the top that my nephew may have left laying around somewhere and I can't find them individually. So this is going to be the toolbox for the Pathfinder School classroom area to take care of the things I have to take care of down here around the classroom and the tools and implements that we use down here for daily maintenance and things like that, as well as for outfitting like the stoves and things of that nature, okay? So I wanted to kind of go over that video with you today, get the second part of this thing out. I really appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And if you have suggestions for this box, let me know. Again, remember that this box is based on a certain thing. It's not a box based on plumbing. It's not a box based on carpentry. It's a box based on small engine vehicle maintenance, chainsaws, weed eaters, and then camp stoves, okay? That's pretty much what I have to deal with down here. I have a separate box underneath the overhang over there that has nails, hammers, squares, things like that that have to do with carpentry as well. So that would be a separate box from this box. Guys, I'll be back to another video as soon as I can. And again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.